I think all three of you are the people that you don't, even just by introducing them, you understand what boundaries you broke. But maybe Judge Ruchi and Rabbi Tamar, can you tell us about your pioneering voyage and the opposition you may have confronted?
So first of all, thank you so much for inviting me. It's really an honor and such a humbling experience to be here. The pasuk that goes through my mind is Mik Amcha Yisrael. Such talent, such skill, it's such an amazing experience for me as a Hasidic woman from Borough Park to be here. It's humbling and I'm so proud to be part of this. Now, thank you. And of course, I couldn't be here. I couldn't be who I am without my husband, Tzvi David. People make a big deal about me. Please stand up, Tzvi David, please stand up, because he's the one who's responsible for everything. If not for his support as being the first chassid to allow his wife and to finance all of my campaign expenses, I couldn't be here. So thank you, Tzvi David, and thank you, Hila, and thank you, WZO, for inviting me here. No, the question you ask is an amazing question, because you asked me about opposition. So there's actually two facets of my life that I'm very busy with. One is my job, which is being a judge in civil court, and the other is my passion and my volunteer work as being a paramedic and director of Ezrat Nashim, the first all-women's EMT agency in America. So, thank you. Interestingly enough, when I became a judge, I didn't have too much opposition. But when I started Ezrat Nashim, I had amazing opposition by a small group of men. And what I found so interesting about this great country in Israel is that when we got into the news about this organization, I was invited to meet some women in Israel, in Yerushalayim, because they wanted to start a Haredi group of women in Ichud Hatzalah. And the amazing thing about Israel is everything happens so fast. I came, I met the women. The next thing I knew, I come back the next time to Israel, and I'm meeting the Haredi women in Hatzalah and the Haredi women in Mada. And I said, wow, how did this happen so fast? In America, I'm still fighting the fight. It took me 10 years to get that first ambulance. Now I drive an ambulance. But it took me 10 years. In Israel, you have an idea, you have people, you have passion, bingo, you have it done. So I really want to learn from all you people how you do your thing.
We don't give people the chance to think.
Okay. Yeah, that's it. But truthfully, I think that if I wouldn't be a religious woman and wouldn't believe that God runs the world, I wouldn't have had the strength to do what I did. And I also feel you have to have a passion for what you're doing. And if you have the passion and support of your family, and you believe that God runs the world, anything is possible.
Rabbi Tamar, do you share the same thoughts? Because somehow, maybe because I'm closer to Jerusalem, I think in Jerusalem it's much harder than that.
It's so interesting, and Todah Hila, and I want to really join you and say Todah Rabba for this gathering, Todah to Hashem and to Herzl, and to all those people that we didn't mention their names who came from far away to be here and their families. And I want to say that more than anything, Tzionut is really a verb. It's a poal. It comes from Metzuyan. All the people sitting here excel in what they do and create a people of excellence wherever we are. And I want to say Todah for that. And I want to pray for our children and grandchildren. May they excel. In 125 other years, may they excel. And I want to say that, Todah, Be'ezrat Hashem. I want to say that nothing in my life prepared me to be a rabbi. I come from a Moroccan family from Casablanca and the Atlas on one side, and I come from a Haredi family from Strasbourg and Metz, and Yeki family on the other side. But I want to say that when I decided to become a rabbi, and today that I'm the head of a yeshiva of rabbis from all denominations in Israel, Haredim and Mizrahiim, Conservativim, Reformim, Chilonim, I think every Jew deserves to have a rabbi that they choose, a teacher that they choose. I waited for opposition. I waited. And I want to tell you one little story and one big story. The first is about my grandfather, Saba Yaish. all my family asked me not to tell my Saba, my grandfather, that this is what I'm doing, that he'll get a heart attack if I do so. That's too much of breaking a boundary for him as a Moroccan Gabbai, mythological Gabbai of Bet Knesset Marom Israel. But he always taught me that the most important thing in a rabbi is not the mouth, is not to speak. Many of us know rabbis who speak too much, maybe. But the most important thing in a rabbi is his ears, that he listens. And he taught me that not only Herzl stood on a mirpeset, on a balcony. I know that today President Herzog is going to be taking that same picture. But every Jew has to stand on a balcony and listen to the tzarot and to the injuries of Am Yisrael around us. And so he taught me to be a rabbi. And for years, he asked me, what do you do? And I said, I learn Torah. I teach Torah. And one day he called me and he said, I just heard that you're a rabbi. Is that true? And I said, Ken Saba, it is true. Are you okay? Are you in a heart attack? Is everything okay? And he said, Tamar, that's what I taught you to do, to learn Torah, to believe in Hashem, to teach Torah, to have ears to listen, and to have the balcony called Yerushalayim to fix and to repair and to believe and to have emunah and to change. Kol hakavod, that's exactly what you need to do. Toda. And I'll just say that when we started the Bet Midrash for Israeli rabbis, every rabbi I called, including Charedim, including Orthodoxim, and Conservativim, and Reformim, and Ethiopiim, and Chilonim, from any congregation, each one of them said two things. First, I'm not worthy. Second, why did it take so long? So I want to say that every year we have 100 applicants. Rabbis all around Israel want to serve Am Yisrael. We have 2 nuclear bombs. One is in Iran, and one is here in us. And we have to have excellence of loving each other, of Ahavat Israel, of emunah in each other. And that is how we will give on the excellence in the next 125 years to our children and grandchildren, Be'ezrat Hashem.
I'm hearing you, and I'm hearing the love, and I'm hearing the firgun, which doesn't have a word in English. It's unbelievable. But I have to insist you talk about the opposition, because when you're a woman, telling the men here, it's very difficult to face the opposition. How did you manage to go through this?
I'll give you a story. Many years ago, the mayor of Yerushalayim, Nir Barkat, had a colloquium of rabbis to choose the next rabbi of Yerushalayim. And he called me to be part of them. And I remember saying to him, are you sure about this? And he said, yes, I am sure about this. And I remember that he said, you might have to decide not to call yourself a Rav in order to be part of this colloquium. And I said, this is not about ego. This is about leadership. I think there is opposition everywhere. And I think we have to be brave. And what gives me the koach is that I'm not here and everything I do is not for me. It's for people who are not heard. It's for people who cannot be heard. It's for many, many other people that must be heard. And I need to take the place for them. So when I hear a woman who goes through abuse or violence, when I hear about poverty or elderly people or people who need to be escorted in life because life is very difficult, I know that this is the most important thing, and I find a way to be there as to be part of a society that needs to have rabbis all around. We have to be working together. And I have to say that many times opposition reminds me that we have to be courageous. So I learned to be strong, I learned to be stubborn, I learned to be chutzpanit, and I learned to be courageous. And I think part of being a rabbi is to be able to go to those places and say, I will not leave until I know this person is heard.
Hear, hear. Joel, in 2006, you founded the Matanel Foundation. Can you tell us a bit about the philanthropic mission?
So first of all, because everybody knows Ruchi and Tamar, I will introduce myself to understand what I am doing with Matanel. It's in fact the prolongation of my life. I am a soul which was thrown in a family called Aflalo in Fez, Morocco. and a family of Chesed, and Fez and Morocco is the Chesed. So we born with something, and the soul manages to guide us. And if you are transparent enough, and the tzinur, we say tzinur, it's a canal in French. You listen to God, and God, in fact, sends you what you have to do. Sometimes you have intuition or ideas, and they are, when they have to be fulfilled, it's Hashem wants it. Otherwise, you will not, even if you fight, you will not have it. But you must believe in it. And I didn't really have to break boundaries because Hashem helped me. Each time I had an idea or something, I receive or meet the person who will bring me to another level. So my father raised me not like a girl in that time, the same than her. A girl has the same value that a man. Even in Morocco at that time, people preferred men. But my father, it was for him, the daughters were sun, stars, moon. So we were free thinking and free. So the life brought me to understand that Judaism was very important in me. And I discovered the difference when I came from Morocco, where the Judaism were tolerant, we were friends. Even if you are Orthodox or not, we were friends. We were communicating together, and so we could progress because it was no rejection. When I came in Belgium, I felt the fire, because I was Sepharad, the other were Ashkenaz. I discovered all that world. Okay. Then I discovered in Luxembourg I would not say hatred, but the fact that you are not like the others made me understand that I have to help and create a tool which can, with small money, not, big money like, I don't want to say names, but there are big foundations. But our small foundation try to do good things with activists, with soul.
Can you give an example?
We meet people with soul, and we try to improve sometimes we bring ideas in them. So first of all, I will speak about Rav Adin Steinsaltz, Zichrono Levracha, which I met the moment we created with my husband the foundation. And I cannot say master because I recognize one master who is,
but Joelle,
I don't know what I show there above. He's everywhere, like said.
Joelle, I'm so sorry, but our time comes to an end, and I want to hear one example of what Matanel does.
In Europe, for example, we helped Conference of European Rabbi training Rabbanim not in the halakha stuff, but in the other things that they need to be in order to help their communities, for example, in Europe.
Because our time is short, can you maybe tell us in a few words what other boundaries are you about to break?
Oh, wow. So I just want to say that one of the important things about breaking boundaries is understanding that you may fail. And everybody sitting in this room will sometimes be afraid to do something because they're afraid of failure. But what I have learned is that failure is just another step towards success. You have to learn how to fail and how to stand up and pick yourself up and move on and keep going.
So in other words, you see breaking boundaries as a value for itself.
Yes. Yes, it's a means, it's not just a means to an end, it's an end in and of itself. It'll build your character, it'll build your belief, and it'll create more opportunities for success.
It's So inspiring. And I want to say, first, to never stop, to always keep dreaming. The two big dreams and things that we're working on now is to create a big database for Am Yisrael in all languages of all the different ceremonies, wedding, bar mitzvah, funerals, that every Jew will be able to enter and find. So I would say the Rabbanut Rashit of all the Jews around the world to be able to have access to our traditions. And the second one is that every community in Israel will have two sister communities, one Muslim and one Christian. And every time we have to stand for each other, with each other, to show the world that we indeed are Or LaGoyim, and we are an inspiration. In a way, Jews defend each other. In a way, Jews defend others and create a country and a state that is worthy of all the dreams of our grandparents and that really reflects all that we have been teaching in the world for many, many years.
Joelle, in a word.
So you made something very important. For example, I met that woman, you know, even though Matanel was helping one of her program already. Yes, I think the same. We should, and Matanel is working on that, we meet souls. And we help those souls to succeed in their endeavors. It's a partnership that I believe in. When I say soul, it's a lot of roads are going to God, to Hashem. So there is not only one, but if we have the main issue, we can help each other.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you for having us. Thank you.